Hello, this is the Tradesight U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview and Forex Market Preview and Economic Data Roadmap for the entire world for the week beginning Sunday the 28th of February 2021, ending Friday the 5th of March. Welcome to March. We are done from a stock trading perspective with the first 2 months of the year of 2021. Is that even possible? Let's go through the stuff we need to go through. Here's the dollar index daily chart, and yes, it's pretty simple. Dead sideways. Been there since the beginning of December, going 3 months now. Not a lot going on. We had a couple days this week. We didn't even make calls because it was that bad, right? So there's just nothing to do. Let's go through the major daily charts of the Forex pairs. The euro dollar is the inverse of the dollar index. Guess what? Yeah, right where it was in December. Pound dollar can be a little different, and it has been. We had a little run here, and then we came back. We did make a little money this week on the pound, and so it was a positive week, but it was a very light positive week. We didn't have a lot of trades. Aussie dollar, look at that. 13 sell signal got broken and then came back. Euro, yen. So yeah, there's a little action there. Pound, yen, also up. So for those of you that like to trade the levels on the cross pairs, that's been a decent week. The pound Swiss, again, good action there. Actually, the best action, probably net for a week, the best action we've seen in a long time. New Zealand dollar pair, up and back. So those are the daily charts. Now we'll look at the 30-minute candle so we can see the whole week. Here's the euro dollar. High to low for the week is about 180 pips. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, boring. Thursday up a little bit. Friday back. So it is what it is. And we look at the pound dollar. High to low for the week. 350 pips, including a spike. Note the 13 sell signal on Wednesday or Thursday. So again, Monday not too exciting, Tuesday not very exciting, Wednesday came up, spiked up, came back, Thursday flat, and then sold off late Thursday, and then Friday flat. Not a very interesting week, even though it looks interesting just based on having, 300 pips of range, but it is what it is. All right, let's get to the stuff we care about. Here's the ES front month futures contract. Let's not look at that one. Sorry, and I'm out of control right now with my charts. Here we go. Charts as usual. ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market in futures form. Closed at the lows of the week, rolled over a bit this week. I mean, we're still holding near highs, but there was a couple days where I thought, oh, we're finally going to do something. Remember, this was not a short holiday week; it was a full week, and that's what it looks like. We'll talk about that in a minute. Crude oil down $1.87 after getting high. So again, as the economy heats up, crude oil starts to get moving. Are we producing enough to match the demand? That's the question. Otherwise, prices start to spike. And so it's what we've done over the last few years in terms of production will matter moving forward here. Gold down $42.40. So gold, you got all these people, oh, inflation and gold and blah blah blah. Yeah, they're getting their butts handed to them right now because that's not how that works right now. S&P cash, and I want to be clear about this. It's down 18.19 for the day of the week of the day. Sorry, on Friday, it's down for the week, closed near the lows at the lows of the week, but right on that red static trend line, that was the low of the day on Friday. You can't make that up. And again, there's just other stuff going on that people need to be aware of. So it's not just about the fact that the S&P was down 18, because with like an hour left, it was down like 2 because it was the end of the month on a Friday. NASDAQ 100 up 81 points, but that doesn't look up, does it? I mean, it was a negative week overall, so it is what it is. The SOX up 68 points. Again, 13 sell signal earlier in the week and down for the week. Biotech's down a point. Doesn't really matter. That's really, can't get any flatter than that on the biotechs. The Russell 2000 up less than a point. Again, nothing. Friday was a waste of time. You know why Friday was a waste of time? Because it's statement printing Friday, end of month, and that's what happens. And this is why we teach people certain things about that in Module 10, if you've ever done it with our program. So VIX down 94 cents to 27.95. It was a good week for the VIX. It spiked because the market started to sell off. The trend closes at 2.27. There you go. And the 10-day moving average had just, finally gotten down to like, 0.87, but it wasn't 0.85, and that's the difference, right? So like we were close, but we weren't quite there in terms of what the broad market sell signal would look like. NASDAQ volume, 5.9 billion shares. This is going to be the last couple of days. Lightest volume we've seen in a long time. Look at that 10-day moving average roll over really quick. So volume's starting to slow up again. Now, let's be honest, a lot of that's about GME and not seeing the stuff in GameStop that we've seen in the past, but it still is what it is. Advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ negative 1243, so way more stocks down than up on the New York negative 473, some more stocks down than up again on Friday. Google gains $5.96, hanging near the highs. Apple up just 27 cents, nowhere near the highs at this point. Netflix loses $7.85. It's been stuck in a range for 7 months and it's not near the highs. Amazon up 35.77 and still nothing. It's been here since the 4th of July, not near new highs. Tesla down $6.72. It is well off the highs, 200 points off the highs. Facebook gains $2.93. That's fine. Zoom gains $8.88. Still sitting where it was back in September. Goldman Sachs down $8.28. One of the things you have to get is that you look at a lot of these key stocks, and a couple of them are up, but a lot of this is down since September, October, or September, August, July, June, whatever last year. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, down up 4.58. The Dow down 469. So that's the lowest close of the week on the Dow. That's about a couple of stocks though. Bitcoin now, this is another thing. 45,700 after hitting 58,000 or so. So it's definitely off quite a bit, 10,000 points more on Bitcoin, and that does have an impact on the markets. All right, let's look at the intra-week action on the ES. So I'm going to go to the ES. I'm going to 10-minute contracts or 10-minute candles. So as you can see, like the very far left is the last Friday prior to this. So we gapped down small on Monday, tried to rally, almost filled the gap, didn't quite, and closed about where we opened. Tuesday we gapped down, pushed lower, came back up, and then basically filled the gap and closed even for the day. Wednesday a small gap down, came back up, filled the gap from the Monday, Friday thing, from the Friday close. The 13 sell signal is the high of the week. And then we closed where we did. Then Thursday we basically opened flat, little gap down, but we filled it quickly because it was such a small gap. And then we sold off hard. And Friday, tiny gap, and then filled it. And so no gaps left from the whole week. Which, what do we teach? Most gaps fill the same day. Almost all of them fill within a week, and definitely almost all of them fill after that. So there's no gaps left from this entire week. We did lose a little bit this week, and that is what it is. The NASDAQ side it's about the same. No gaps. Well, there is a gap left from the prior Friday. And look at that 13 sell signal right on point on the 10-minute chart. But overall, it is what it is. All right. So not a lot to discuss beyond that. It wasn't a very interesting week. I wouldn't get too excited about anything. Now let's look at the economic data coming out in the week ahead. So Sunday, China manufacturing PMI, non-manufacturing PMI, Australia AIG. Manufacturing index, MI inflation gauge, corp company operating profits, Japan final manufacturing PMI, China Caxton manufacturing PMI Monday, commodity prices, German preliminary CPI, retail sales out of Switzerland, Spanish manufacturing PMI, then the Swiss, Italian, French, German, all the same, European, and broad Europe and UK. So that takes us all the way through Monday. No data here in the US on Monday. We have no holidays for over a week. I'm sorry, for over a month until we get to Easter and Good Friday. There is some stuff on Monday, my bad. We got current account out of Canada, manufacturing PMI out of Canada, final manufacturing PMI and ISM manufacturing PMI out of the US, along with construction spending. We got overseas trade index out of New Zealand, unemployment rate out of Japan, capital spending and monetary base out of Japan. Building approvals and current account out of Australia. We got a rate announcement out of Australia at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday. 10-year bond auction out of Japan. Then we got Europe's German retail sales, nationwide HPI, Spanish and German unemployment rate, CPI flash estimate out of Europe, GDP out of the Canada, New Zealand's GDT price index, IBD tip economic optimism number, U.S. dollar awards, total vehicle sales. We've got AIG Construction. There's nothing here in the U.S., by the way, on Tuesday. AIG Construction Index out of Australia that night. Building Consensus out of New Zealand. BRC Shop Price Index out of the U.K. We've got Australia's GDP number. Caxton Services PMI out of China. CPI out of Switzerland. French government budget balance, Spanish services PMI, Italian services PMI, all the services PMIs out of France, Germany, the broad European sector, UK. That's Wednesday, 15 minutes apart each, basically. And then PPI out of Europe, annual budget release out of the UK, ADP non-farm employment change here in the US, building permits out of Canada. Here in the US, we've got final services and ISM services PMI numbers, along with crude oil inventories in the beige book in the afternoon. Retail sales out of Australia, along with their trade balance Wednesday night. 30-year bond auction out of Japan. Going to Thursday, consumer confidence out of Japan, ECB economic bulletin out of Europe, construction PMI out of the UK, retail sales out of, and an unemployment rate out of Europe, Spanish 10-year bond auction, French 10-year bond auction, UK 10-year bond auction, US challenger job cuts, labor productivity out of Canada, revised non-farm productivity out of the US, along with a weekly initial and continuing jobless claims numbers at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Thursday. Factory orders at 10, natty gas at 10:30, AIG Services Index at 4:30 out of Australia. And finally, on to Friday, German factory orders, French trade balance, foreign currency reserves out of Switzerland, Halifax HPI, Italian retail sales, trade balance out of Canada, unemployment rate, non-farm payrolls, and trade balance here in the U.S. That's two of our big three. So we'll be half size ahead of Friday night's trades and the pound dollar stuff. And that should cause a gap in the stock market as well. IV PMI out of Canada and consumer credit at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday. Again, like I said, not much here, although I will say we have the time change coming up here around the world after this in the next couple of weeks. And it is what it is. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple of weeks. Have a great trading week.